We have also developed at least a half a dozen different ways to trigger information back out that a person can do on their own to prove, in fact, every day of their life that they're getting the information they're putting in, because they have no sensation consciously that they got it when they photograph it initially. So they need to prove the conscious mind that they're getting it, and they can bring it back out at will several different ways. But in addition to that, what happens is, as you use the process regularly, it gets to the point where it becomes a natural, automatic recall kind of a transaction. When the information is needed, when a reason is there, a trigger is there to bring the information back out, it automatically surfaces and comes through. Much like a subliminal message does that you're unaware of, that you're getting through some form of advertising or whatever. Because the conscious mind, remember, when we're getting messages that way and photographing them subliminally, the conscious mind isn't in the way. It's not blocking anything. It doesn't even know we got the message to begin with, so we automatically react to it when the trigger is there for us to react to it. By the very nature of this process, we have to let the conscious mind know what's going on so it understands that you're photographing the material. And for that reason, it gets in the way real fast, because the conscious mind can't do this. And it knows it can't do it, and the conscious mind is where our ego lies. So its immediate reaction is, oh God, this can't be done. And then it'll maybe back off a little bit, and it's like, well, I suppose it could be done, but I don't know if I could do it. But once you experience it, which this course that we teach is totally experiential, you're doing it every day, even the very first day of class, you're subliminally photographing, you find that you in fact can do it. You can do it very easily. You must maintain the use of the process on a daily basis to some degree each day to keep the channel open. That's imperative. And the only thing that happens for a person not really locking this skill in is that they don't use the process. That's just that simple. If they do, it works beautifully. And how do we know that? Because we get feedback on that every single day from thousands of people all over the country, all over Canada, and now all over the world that have gone through this. We are teaching this literally all over the United States and Canada today. I'm going to open this up for questions and answers here in a little bit, but I have a couple more things I want to touch on first. Again, the National Education Association. They have put out this graph, which is the learning curve of life, they call it. And it very vividly shows and illustrates what we're dealing with here. Because from birth until the age of 5, we learn at a phenomenal rate of speed. We are all, every one of us, born with a photographic recall memory. We are born with that. Every one of us possesses that. And we use it almost exclusively as a natural, automatic way to learn during this period of time from 0 to age 5. Until what time, what happens at age 5? We go to school. From that point on, and remember, these are National Education Association graphs. From that point on, the learning curve goes down the rest of our lives. Not when we complete school, when we start school. The reason is we're taught a rote memory system of learning. We're now going to be taught when we go to school how to learn. My gosh, folks, we already knew how to learn. We had a beautiful way to learn. We were born with it. We learned some of the most exciting, most difficult things in our lives prior to going to school. And we learned it with total accuracy. And you can prove that so easily. Take a preschool child, read something to them today, and a month from now, come back and read the same thing to them and make a mistake somewhere. Boy, they'll point that out right now, right now. They may not even know how to read yet. They just heard it once. We all possess that ability. But we get programmed out of using it when we go to school and get into this structured method of learning called the rote memory system of learning. Because that system of learning is based upon reading as its primary vehicle, and everything that we are dealing with in that learning system is dealt with on a conscious basis. We're trying to educate 10% maybe of our mind's potential in the most inefficient part of the whole brain, the conscious part. And we spend years doing that with a vehicle of reading, which as you saw before is pathetic. It may be fun to read for some people as a pleasure reader, but we'll show you a much better way to even use this tool, subliminal photography, for that purpose. If you'll photograph your book that you're going to read for pleasure first, you'll put it all directly into the subconscious part of the brain at 100 times the impact of reading, and then as you go back and read your book for pleasure, it triggers it to the conscious level completely with total understanding. It's as if you're living the book on a basis that you would never get from reading it one time through, and with 100% retention. You never forget it. So you'll enjoy the book much more. And gosh, it'll take you another 3 minutes to photograph the book of 360 pages before you read it. So it's not any big deal, is what I'm saying.